I am Maggie Humphry, and during the lockdown I have been working on a series of oil paintings of the Greek myths. This one I'm working on is Danae. Her father, the king, was told that he would be killed by his grandson, so he locked Danae in a tower to keep all men away. But Zeus the god seduced her as a shower of gold, and she became pregnant. I will put the shower of gold down here. This is the first picture I did. It's of Pandora. And people know the story of Pandora and her box, which she shouldn't open. But Stephen Fry, who wrote Mythos, thinks it was a mistranslation and it was a jar she was given. Because that's much more sense, because everything was kept in jars in those days. She opened the jar and the evils of the world flew out, and she quickly shut it and later heard a voice and opened it again, and out flew hope. And those of you who know the story know why there's a wolf here. This is Europa. And I wanted the colours to be of marble, but it didn't quite work, so I've set it aside. I usually have about 5 paintings on the go at once, as sometimes the paint gets wet, as in this one of Icarus, or else I get picky and tight, and so I put them aside and return again to them later. This is Midas. Everything he touches turns to gold, like the flower, and the dog, which he doesn't realise is jumping up and touching him, that will be gold, and I will use gold leaf. A lot of my paintings I will use gold leaf. I'm very influenced by Klimt, Gustav Klimt, because I've used lots of patterns and a lot of gold. This is Jason and the Golden Fleece, and again I'll use gold leaf on the fleece. I feel that I'm working in isolation just now, so I send my pictures to Helen Job in North Wales. She's a painter, and she comments on my work. And she said she thought this had an air of menace and trepidation. Also, it was very interesting, she made these comments. I love the colours you've chosen for these paintings, by the way. The interiors of Pompeii used these, a bit later than the Greeks. But I think the Greek influence was still prevalent. Of course, there were no synthetic colours in existence then, so the range was more limited. But this palette is evocative of the era. These are some which are nearly finished. The first one is Artemis. The second one is Leda and the Swan. The third one is Narcissus, who's fallen in love with himself. And this one is Arachne with the spider, the weaver. Although I work in oils, I work very thinly and often use the fan brush to put veils of colour on. And of course it's dry by the next day. I want to darken this curtain down, so I'm using oil paint with white spirit. And it's so easy because if it goes in the wrong place, I can just wipe it off again. Right, I'm back to work.